Welcome to week 5 of Mindfully Parenting Your Baby. I hope you've been finding the program useful so far, and I'm impressed with your commitment and staying with us. I know how time poor you can be as a new mums. In previous sessions, we've focused on using your breath, your senses and physical postures as ways in to be mindful with yourself and as a way to attune to your baby and reflect on her underlying states. In this week's podcast, we're going to move the focus onto increasing the awareness of your mind. Because we'll be exploring the contents of your mind, this week focuses a little bit more on you. But as we go on, we'll also consider how your thinking can affect how you parent and then how it can affect your baby. Being mindful of your physical sensations is one thing, but being mindful of your mind is another thing altogether. The contents of our mind can be elusive and slippery, thoughts swim in and out of consciousness, and at times we can be really immersed in them. So noticing and catching thoughts can be very tricky. Stilling and quietening your mind can be even trickier. To become mindful, one needs to engage the mind. Thoughts are powerful. They can shape how we feel, our moods, how we behave, and how we relate to others and ourselves. Because thoughts are intimately linked with feelings and behaviours, they can both help us and hinder us. Thoughts can colour how we see the world and its events as well as our experience of life. Our minds house our memories, which give rise to thoughts. Our minds are often on the lookout for pain and suffering, which also gives rise to thoughts. We relate to our thoughts in a certain way. Some thoughts we like and we replay them, others we don't like, and we either try desperately not to think about them or we become preoccupied with them, going over and over the very thing we fear or wish not to think about. Perhaps you're someone who says, I don't want to stop and enter my mind. I'm not sure what I'll find in there. Or alternatively, you might be someone who says, I'm already in my mind and thoughts all the time. My problem is I think too much. Both of these scenarios present a dilemma about getting into your mind and feeling comfortable in there. If you identify with either of these positions, I encourage you to suspend your concerns and have a go at the practices in these sessions this week. It is possible to form a different relationship with your mind and to settle and quieten your mind with practice and be able to identify when your thoughts are helpful and realistic and when they're not. We'll start this week with some concrete practices about labelling some of the contents of your mind. I hope you find them helpful.